Join me for 100 years of horror. Monsters, as classically defined, are combinations of human and beast, or occasionally beast and beast.
O Minotauro da mitologia grega era meio homem, meio touro. O centauro meio homem, meio cavalo. A sereia meio mulher, meio peixe.
For many centuries, science told us such fantastic hybrids were genetically impossible. One species cannot mate with another. Yet even the eminent Gregor Mendel, father of modern genetics, allowed for spontaneous mutations, arbitrary changes in natural patterns that establish a new type of creature, a mutant.
Dos objetivos da expedição de Sir Edmund Hillary às montanhas do Tibete era encontrar evidências sobre o lendário abominável Homem das Neves. Hillary subiu o Monte Everest, mas não encontrou o Yeti. Mas outros exploradores e cientistas experimentaram lendas locais e fotografaram estranhas pegadas na neve que nos fizeram suspeitar de que ele existia. Poderia muito bem ser uma espécie desconhecida de urso. Mas os filmes dos anos 50 perseguiam uma sedutora possibilidade, a de que o Yeti estava geneticamente relacionado ao homem.
We wanted to do a picture about the Yeti in the Himalayas, and the man became most interested in what the Yeti would look like, and Jimmy said to him, "We don't know, we haven't caught one yet."
What did it look like? Tell me, what did you see, Kusang? Tell me!
I see what men must not see.
They know it was me that did it last night. They're after me. They're after all of us. They just killed McGee.
Why, Dad? It was an accident.
It's me next. They know it was me. Stay here. Wait. Ed, I can hear you. He's coming.
You've got to understand, that isn't Shelley, it isn't anybody.
I can hear his voice.
It's in your own mind. It's just happened to me, too.
his films are very interesting. He made pictures like Killers from Space and Phantom from Space, The Snow Creature. In his own way, W. Lee Wilder is every bit as good as Edward D. Wood. His films are uniquely crazed. They don't seem to make any sense at all. And I think you can have fun watching them.
Well, the question is it a beast or a man? Well, he's not human, if that's what you mean.
A trama de The Snow Creature beirava o surreal, envolvendo a condição legal do Yeti.
This creature is definitely not human. Mr. Fleet, certainly your department isn't going to take this photographer's word literally. Well, this is a very unusual case. This is a very unusual find.
Uma criatura semi-humana, mesmo de passaporte? Enquanto os filmes sobre o Homem das Neves eram baseados em lendas que muitos acreditavam ser verdadeiras, The Mole People, da Universal, era completamente fictício.
Gentlemen, we're in 3000 BC.
I remember one day I was on the set, and the Mole People were, wandering around. Lo and behold, Rock Hudson comes on the set. And he looked around and saw all this going on. He says, "Agar, what'd you get yourself into?"
You will die in the fire of Ishtar.
Talvez o mutante mais famoso desses filmes seja o Img Vhs, conhecido como a criatura da Lagoa Negra.
We believed all up and it was out that there were some fish people who lived in the water, but also were light people. In my head, gone, right? Years later, I came up with the idea for the creature from the Black Lagoon.
He was always in his creature thing when I'd see him, and I was never sure what. All I know is I was really sorry for him because when it was hot in the day, and then he had that damn suit on, and we'd all be hot, and he's in that trying to work, and anything above surface. And then when he was in the water, he'd get wet, and then I think, well, maybe he's warmer than we are because we'd have the wind on us and all wet.
4 men dead so far.
We're staying until we get, or until somebody else gets killed.
Os críticos não gostaram muito deste filme quando foi lançado. Só anos mais tarde ele foi reconhecido como um clássico do gênero.
You know, I pity him sometimes. He's so alone. The only one of his kind in the world.
If anything goes wrong, you head straight for the surface, do you understand?
All right, let's go.
I did my own swimming and skin diving because the picture just before that I had been loaned out to RKO to do underwater with Jane Russell, Gilbert Rowland, and Richard Egan. And I learned how to use an aqualung and skin dive on that picture and did some of my own in that. And when I came back to Universal and was assigned to do the Revenge of the Creature, I did all my own stuff.
Rico was incredible. This guy could dive underwater and swim after he'd gotten big breaths of oxygen for a good 3 minutes. It was amazing, his lung capacity. There were sharks swimming all around us. They didn't pay any attention to us because they fed them, you know, constantly. A shark isn't going to attack unless they're hungry. But Rigo had more problems with turtles than anything else. They kept nipping at the creature costume.
Hey, look! He broke the chain!
As plateias ficaram em polvorosa para ver a última novidade num tema tão explorado.
Fire burned away the outer scale. There's a structure of human skin underneath it.
The gills may grow back.
Never. Features of skin, they're more like a human's every day.
As expedições da Lagoa Negra inspiraram outros monstros anfíbios.
We'd better go over to them. Come on, Andrea.
Me? Why?
Hot. So hot. I had a little man that didn't speak English either, who carried around an umbrella over my head. I mean, I can't tell you how hot it was. My makeup just rolled off my face, and it was probably one of the most difficult locations I have ever been on in my life. At the end of the scene, they set it on fire while John Bonfield and I are inside of it. So we're there, and we got the camera set up, and blah, 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 and this is the time we're going to light it on fire. Well, they lit it, and instead of it popped. And there was a wall of flame in front of us, and we stood there. John Bonfield and I stood there. I know we stood there no more than by the time you'd go, but it seemed forever, and we were so shocked. And I pushed John, and he ran. I mean, then he came to, and I stood there and went, I'm going to die here. And then I thought, I mean, come on, Beverly, you've got to get out of here. And I ran. I got out of there. I singed my hair, singed my eyelashes, singed my eyebrows. I mean, I just made it out of there. I mean, that was scary.
Who is to say there are not unknown creatures in the frozen mountain region of Tibet or the untraveled Amazonian rainforests? On the verge of reaching into outer space, we have still not explored everything closer to home. As Hamlet said to his friend Horatio, "There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy.
Mutante que parecia meio humano, meio inseto, apareceu no clássico da Universal, This Island Earth.
The two of you are beginning a strange journey. A journey that no Earth people have ever undertaken before.
They're pulling us up.
They're going to hit us. They're going to hit us.
It is indeed typical that you Earth people refuse to believe in the superiority of any world but your own.
There are two forms of life fighting for survival out here in this valley, and only one of them can win.
O dia em que o mundo acabou tinha seus próprios mutantes, além dos atores que normalmente trabalhavam nos filmes de ficção científica.
Nothing ever come easy to me.
Don't touch me. I can't.
Tony, let the little girl go.
As fate would have it, you know, which happens to actors and actresses at times, you have some lean years or some lean times, and so you get desperate and you do whatever comes your way. And one of those things that came my way at that time was The Day the World Ended, with Richard Denning, Del Jurgens, and myself.
No one takes my gun.
Tony, look out!
You remember, well, this is a picture, this is a story, and it's supposed to be believable. So let's make it believable.
It was a very small part, but it was fun. Anytime you put that much makeup on an actor and let him just run around crazy, it's incredible, you know?
Além do orçamento, a única coisa incoerente neste filme foi a grande repercussão crítica que o precedeu.
Come in, Sands Control. Position 18, speed 10,000 plus. Position 20, airspeed increasing. I think something's wrong.
In the early 50s, working with the monsters and the various special effects, as up through the final picture, I worked very closely with the special effects people on sketches and original concepts.
Follow me, soldiers of revenge. I'll lead you to the captain, to food, to freedom.
The writers were semi-literate because they called us mutates. Not mutants, which is the correct word, but mutates. I was one of the mutates.
I value my freedom more than this.
So you'll attempt this escape even though we try and stop you?
Yes.
Hey, listen. There's someone following us.
No chance of that. Your hearing is more sensitive through your receiving set. Just some loose rock sliding.
We went up to Red Rock Canyon there, and we looked around, and he said, gee, I think I can, make some, I think I can put these people in the rocks, if you please.
For some reason, they don't seem to want to come in here.
Yeah, well, that's okay by me.
We'd go in 2 or 3 days earlier, and Art and myself and the special effects men we were sitting up there putting on the rocks and finding a way that we could get the people in from behind it before we broke it. And it was called One Time. When they release from the rocks, that's it, because we're not coming back here for 3 more days. Just glue them back up again, you know.
Às vezes, como na natureza, mutações espontâneas simplesmente acontecem, como a planta falante em A Pequena Loja dos Horrores.
I never meant to kill anybody in my whole life. I've killed 2 in the last 2 days. Well, but you asked for it coming after me with that knife and all. Fun boy, I'd talk so far. You want anything else?
And it was the first time that I'd ever seen anybody shoot with more than 1 camera at a time. But what it did was, you'd have to get the scene done, because what you said in it, if it was the wrong words, if you didn't do the jokes, it didn't matter, it was a print, you know? The only way that you could stop and get another crack at it was to completely blow.
I'm working on a special surprise plant just for you. I'm growing a plant like you ain't never seen before.
Excellent. I can't even sell the plants I got in my shop. Out, you.
Now, wait a minute. He's got a new kind of plant you want to look at.
I don't look on flowers, Mr. Yellow Vest. I got ancestors in the flower business for 200 years, but I got 1 shop on Skid Row, 1 stinking shop. I don't even like flowers.
No, you don't understand what I mean. Look, I've eaten in flower shops all over the world, and I've noticed that the places that have the most unusual plants do the best business.
He was the voice of the plant. That came about by accident. He was off stage doing the voice. He said, somebody read this. Chuck, read this, you know. He says, feed me, whatever the line was. Feed me, feed me. And he started doing this funny voice. Feed me.
Feed me. Oh, take it easy, Dracula. What do you think I'm carrying here, my dirty laundry?
And nobody really knew what the voice was going to be, you know. And we heard it and started to laugh. He said, this is so silly. He's like, feed me, feed me. And Roger decided, well, not only is it funny, but we'll save ADR money. We don't go any further.
Put on the black sleep. Take it up to surgery at once.
A cirurgia no cérebro de Basil Rathbone resultou numa semelhante população de mutantes.
Criminal. Monstrous.
Mungo!
Why don't you run?
The Black Sleep with Basil and Bela, which I played some kind of a maniac with a big beard and rattling chains. He's in an insane asylum. And during the shooting, during a lull in the shooting, Basil and I were talking, and he said, John, how many films have we made together? I thought a moment and said, I think it's 5, Basil. He said, John, it's 11. And he counted them off.
Science has reached a point where genetic hybrids are a reality. For example, a strain of DNA was recently implanted into the womb of a horse. The result? A healthy, perfectly formed zebra, a true mutant. If mankind can create such minor miracles, then the possibilities of nature experimenting in its own unique way over hundreds of millions of years are unlimited.